What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Fantasy Football Game Show presented by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my beautiful co-hosts, Josh and John Luke. What's up, boys?
What up?
We're here and we're beautiful still.
We're here and we're beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Also joining us today is the hairiest and most handsome member of the FYF crew. We've got Tim Wright with us. What's up, Tim?
Oh, my body hurts, but I'm loving it. I'm ready to go for 4th of July. Let's do it.
Woo! You got one more day to prepare before the weekend, Tim, and then it's already the weekend
there.
for you. You're in weekend mode. Forget repairing. You got
Drink up. Hey, let's go.
Guys, also joining us today, we have a special guest making his return to the Fantasy Football Game Show is Brian Drake. For those of you that do not know Brian Drake, he's the host of the Fantasy Football Hustle podcast. He's the host of PFF over on Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio and a fantasy writer over at Fighting Chance Fantasy Sports. Drake, thank you so much for joining us today, my man.
Thanks for having me, guys. And I figured out before the show started, we were just talking, and I had to send beer to somebody I was in a league with. It's a guy you guys know very well. It's Jay Felicio. Is the guy I sent the beer to.
Wow.
Who's that?
Jay.
What?
Yeah, we do know that guy. That's awesome, actually.
That's
I'm
so
looking through,
funny.
I'm like, who did I send the beer to? I'm like, there we go.
You said it was like it's some fantasy guy. Who
Yeah.
was it?
About 15 months ago, I promised Jay I would send him beer, and then I never said anything about it.
No
So
one
he's
sends
still
Jay
waiting
beer.
on beer from me as well.
Yeah, you just
so
jumped
do I,
above
beer.
JL and I in the rankings because I
Yep.
also promised to send Jay a beer from around where I live, and I have
It's
not
too hard
done
to
it.
get to.
I don't make
Well, and then-
promises
Too
like that.
complicated.
Once you get to the post office too, like they don't make it
Scary.
apparent. They put like a price tag on the box. Do I have to pay for it before I put my stuff in it, or can I just put my stuff in it, take it to the front desk?
I have no
Where's
idea.
the tape? Do I have
The
to bring
last
my
one,
own
too.
tape?
Is there
To buy
anything
tape.
liquid or perishable or anything in here? No, not at all. Funny story. One time I mailed Brad Evans tequila, and it
Oh.
broke at the Denver airport.
Oh,
And I got a letter
no.
back from whoever the postmaster general of Denver, and they're like, "You realize you can't send alcohol through the mail?" And this, that. I'm just like, delete.
No,
yeah,
why would I realize that?
Made it
Is
that
this
far.
not
Ignorance is
America?
Drake, I had a very similar thing happen. We tried to send my girlfriend's dad a bottle of whiskey and like this book on Irish history in the mail for his birthday. And what we got back was a whiskey soaked book about Irish history and no bottle of whiskey in
I
there.
mean, that's almost more
It just came,
appropriate.
Yeah,
just came back to our house. So happy birthday to him. Guys, today we brought Drake on here to help us out with some brackets. We're going to be going through 2 different brackets today. Our top quarterbacks, 23 and under, and then the best 4th of July food. So we're going to be talking young quarterbacks, these up and coming dynasty guys. And then we are going to be talking 4th of July foods, your favorite barbecue foods for that 4th of July cookout. We got some people in the chat ready for today's
Okay.
show.
People in the chat.
Craig is in here. Says, anyone else think that the FYF crew keeps putting food brackets out there and intentionally making terrible choices in them to keep bringing in the hate views? Yeah. Craig, I got to tell you,
Craig.
we don't have to do anything on purpose. Just some of us have
We
horrible
have
food
JL
takes.
here. I mean,
That's
come
what
on,
I'm here
right? As long as we have JL just talking about what he naturally believes,
Yeah,
we're
just totally
gonna get-
100% all
get some
natural.
chaos.
Yeah.
Joe, I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. It is so relieving to me not to be the bad food take guy
Yeah,
in a
I get to
group.
be the scapegoat.
I've always been the bad food take guy
Yeah.
in a group, and that Tim can
You
attest
still
to
are.
that.
You've grown so
still
much.
Albert, what's up? Good afternoon. Glad to have you here on our favorite
Albert.
chat cat, Mr. Scampers. Happy Friday to you as well. We got Scott in the chat. What's up, Scott?
Scott.
Glad to have you in here.
Scotty.
And Dame said mattresses. I'm guessing that's what your ad was for.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Mattresses. I like
A
Mattresses.
that.
good mattress
We
can
do-
be a life changer, guys. You spend what
Tucked and needle.
33.678% of your life on a mattress. I made that
Yeah.
number up. but-
3 years salary you should spend on your
Yeah.
mattress. That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Is this
for
going to be
your
a
salary.
like a purple mattress? We're going to slide an
Hold
ad
on,
right
we're
here.
about
or
to get
something?
the. That'd be
Yeah.
awesome if it just like came up. Purple
Yeah.
mattress. Let's go.
We're a Casper company, actually, Drake. Not a
Oh, are you?
Tough to
Oh.
noodle. Get out of here.
I'm just kidding.
We accept no bed related sponsors except Tough to Noodle. That's
Tough to
it.
noodle.
I like
Tough to
sleep
noodle.
number. Sleep number,
Delicious
guys. I don't
noodles
know.
on your mattress.
We got
Sleep number's
Scott
the
in
worst,
here.
Josh. Don't get me started.
I don't have a sleep number. I just made up something.
I had a sleep number. I got
I
it
did
for my
too.
12th birthday, and then it
I did
broke.
too.
It popped when I was like in my 20s.
Wait,
It didn't like violently pop due to like
That's what I was
immediate- it
imagining.
just like it just
We're
wouldn't
done.
hold air anymore is what happened.
Shoot sound
guys
out of the
remember-
ceiling.
Do you guys remember bed tents?
Bed
Yeah.
No, not at
tents,
all.
No.
No, God, I'm
I remember water.
I mean, I
There
remember
were like
getting
these
12.
tents you put like, I had a He-Man or G.I. Joe one, and it had little like PVC piping, and it just created like a tent, and then the bottom of it was just like a fitted sheet on your bed. It was amazing.
I just Googled
As a
these.
kid.
I would like one.
That
I
would
would
be
like-
badass.
please.
And Simon wants one as an adult. But
Yeah, do they make them for queen size beds? Do
Yeah,
you
I want
think?
like
Can
you could have like a divider in there for your wife or whoever girlfriend.
They're looking at the
That's-
order like, how big is this kid?
It's a very large kid. We got Scott in here saying Brian Drake is the man, along with Drew
Facts.
Davenport and Jim Coventry. Some good company to be lumped in there.
My
with
drinking
Brian.
buddies at the expo.
Perfect. And we got Dave in here. What's up, Dave? Welcome in. Glad to have you in here. Guys, before we get started with our brackets, a couple quick reminders. Number one, if you are not already following our friend Brian over on Twitter, go and remedy that right this instant. He's on Twitter at Drake Fantasy. It is right there below his handsome face on the screen. So make sure you guys go over there and follow him on Twitter.
To get down, Brian. Like, it's
I'm never good at that. I always have to reach behind. I did it this morning. We filmed the hustle, and I'm like, I'm like, hey, we have this hat over my shoulder here, and I'm like, trying to pimp some merchandise.
I always
but
do it very
I never know
subtly.
what side's behind me.
I just like lift up one of my arms. I'm like,
Slow
that's the wrong
movements.
one, and now I know it's right here. Here we go.
Genius.
I've learned. Yeah.
Guys, after you follow Brian on Twitter, if you're watching this, that means you're probably already on our YouTube channel. Go and hit that like button on this video if you enjoy what we do over here. And make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. It is the easiest way to show your support for what we're doing here at Front Yard Fantasy. And guys,
Super easy.
if you're
Just
ready,
do it.
I think we go ahead and pull up this first bracket and get started. JL
Real
just
fast.
quit
I
on
see-
us, but
I
he'll
see
be
a
back.
question in the chat here. Are we doing a 4th of July show? I believe we decided that we are
We are
taking the
not.
day off. We want our chat to take the day off too. Do something for yourselves.
Yeah.
During this time, I want you to meditate or get out in the wilderness or take a hike. That sounds actually
Take a hike
Take
I
a
want you to
hike.
do
or
something
jump
for
in a
you.
lake.
Go punch
Gosh.
sand.
Do something for you with this time that you would be watching the show. Just do something productive in your life.
Our show
really
is for them.
Our show is for them.
We know
right,
you're
JL.
drinking inside watching. Just drink outside.
Yeah, just move
Yeah.
on out to the lawn.
Do something nice. Do something nice.
Guys, our very first bracket today is going to be top quarterbacks 23 and under. We're going to be talking about which of these guys we prefer. And I think from a fantasy perspective is what we're talking about here. You can take into account draft costs as well whenever we're talking about these guys. But these are all of the quarterbacks, or the top 8 quarterbacks in the league, according to Fantasy Pros consensus rankings for Dynasty that are 23 and under. For those of you that have not watched us do brackets before, how this is going to work is we're going to take turns
Years.
voting in order. Yeah, 23 years old, not days old.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. We're going to take turns voting, and that means we're going to start up there with Mr. Brian Drake on our very first matchup. We've got the 1 seed Trey Lance going up against our 8 seed rookie Malik Willis. Which one of these guys do you prefer? Do you think is the better quarterback under 23?
Real
Josh, did you have
fast.
something?
I do have Dynasty ADP from DLF pulled up. If anyone is interested, I'm going to be using that as a reference point myself for a lot of this because I'm going to be looking for the best value personally. We always say use whatever parameters you want. If you want to vote for one guy and use a specific reasoning for that one guy, and then the next guy you want to go a completely different direction, that is completely fine. We love the chaos, but I'm going to use ADP to make my decisions here a lot.
So, Josh, you want to let us know what these guys' ADP are?
Absolutely. So Trey Lance in a 1 quarterback dynasty league, according to DLF ADP, Trey Lance would be the 108th person selected. Well, I'll just say 106. Trey Lance would be 106, and then Malik Willis would be down at 204. So there's a large separation between these guys. That would make Malik Willis the 25th quarterback off the board, and it would make it would make Trey Lance the 11th quarterback off the board.
So,
There you go.
quick clarification question. What question am I putting into the polls? Which QB is better? Which
You
QB
say
is a better
preferred.
value?
You can just
Just
say
do
preferred.
Trey Lance, Malik Willis.
You don't have to put a question.
No question.
Just like we're
If
doing.
anyone chooses someone other than Trey Lance in this one, we're going to question how much they've been drinking already.
So, Drake, it is your
beer.
vote. I'm guessing your vote's going to Trey Lance.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we know the opportunity cost that San Francisco spent on Trey Lance, and obviously he hasn't played much in the past 2 years. Either his final year, we had COVID and all that, and he sat out. Then he didn't really play much last year, only attempted 71 passes. He just has to get better at throwing the football. 57% completion percentage last year, 5 touchdowns and 2 picks. Everyone knows we can do with his legs last year, nearly 170 yards on the ground. San Francisco was top 5 in rush attempts last year and bottom 5 in pass attempts. I don't anticipate that changing at all. Malik Willis, he's not even going to play this year, more than likely. They can get out of Tannehill's contract next year. There's like about 18 million dead cap. But he's a 3rd-round pick. We're not even sure, if everyone was real high. And remember in draft talk, guys, everyone's like, oh, Malik Willis, he could be the guy sneak in the 1st round and he kept sliding. He went into the
I was one of those guys.
RB.
We were live streaming over on FanDuel for day 2 of the draft, and it just kept being like, Malik Willis has to go here, right? Well, he has, and I feel like we did that for a round and a half.
And eventually it happened.
And eventually
it was pretty exciting when it happened.
Yeah. The NFL decision makers told you what they thought of Malik Willis, where you waited till the 3rd round. Teams repeatedly passed on that needed quarterbacks. So, I mean, I think that kind of tells you a lot about what they think of his skill set. And maybe he's just kind of a high-end backup in their eyes. Maybe like what Teddy Bridgewater has become these days. So, yeah, I mean, that's a slam dunk. Let's go Trey Lance.
1 vote for Trey Lance. Tim, where are you going on this one?
I was looking at all the seeds, and it's going to be really hard for me to pick an underseed in all of these. It's Trey Lance for everything you said. Pretty easy.
2 votes for Trey Lance. JL?
I'm going to go Trey Lance as well.
3 votes. And Joshua?
Yeah, I mean, I'm like slightly tempted to go to Malik Willis just because there is a huge separation in draft cost, right? If we're talking about Superflex League, Trey Lance is going to be a top 2-round pick, most likely. You might be lucky to get him in the 3rd round, that's how much hype he's getting. But he was the number 3 overall pick for the San Francisco 49ers. I fully expect him to be the starter this year. Like Brian said, Malik Willis is not going to be the starter this upcoming season, at least for a year. Probably longer. Ryan Tannehill is a pretty solid quarterback, and he was drafted in the 3rd round. Even with that separation, making Malik Willis the quarterback 25, I don't necessarily consider that a value on Malik Willis at all. It's Trey Lance. Easy.
Yeah, and ditto what you guys said, Drake, Josh. It's Trey Lance as well. We can go ahead and sweep that and move him on to the next round. What happened?
Said Drake and Josh.
Shout out to
damn it! I didn't mean to say Drake and Josh.
It's
Tim,
too easy, right?
Another podcast in the future here.
Yes. Oh my God. Please make that happen.
Drake. Let's talk afterwards.
That would be
We'll
awesome.
start calling you Drake instead of Brian, just so we can see.
Nobody called me. I don't think Dwayne has called me Brian on our podcast in 5 years.
All right, you're Drake now. It's okay.
That's fine.
We got Scott Fishman here saying, crap, my son is outside. I was going to show him how to correct brackets. Yeah.
Bring him in.
You can do it afterwards as well if you need to, like pause it. That way you can do some like film study.
No, Simon, you're wrong. This is more valuable than a kid playing outside. Like don't get him in here.
You'll learn way more.
To listen.
Yeah.
I'm excited. You guys, what leagues are you guys in, or cities for the Scott Fish Bowl? I'm in Rochester, closest I can get.
Silver
to Syracuse.
Spring, Maryland.
I'm in Seattle. Seattle.
Tim, which one are you in?
I'm in Atlanta.
Are you doing the live draft tomorrow?
No, I'm not.
He's like, am I?
I'm in the San Antonio division, so no live drafts here. But we got our first SFB12 live drafts tomorrow, so I hope anybody taking part in those has been prepping and getting excited. That's awesome that they're actually doing those this year. I know that's been a lot of work from Scott to get those up and running. I'm excited to see all the pictures, and I'm jealous of everybody that gets to go to those. And Dame is super excited for the LA live draft. And you're getting to do it with the guys over there at Trophy Smack. They're going to put on a party there. Sweet. Matt Walsh is a machine. He's going to have you guys.
All right, I'm coming. I'll be there.
Over there.
I'll be there.
Are you going to LA?
I'm going to LA. Are you coming with me, JL? Let's go. Let's have a plan together.
Yeah, I need you to smuggle like 15 jars of grape jelly with you. Don't ask any questions.
Grape jelly. I thought that was okay. Yeah.
On that note, Tim, you've got the first vote on this matchup. It's Mac Jones versus Trevor Lawrence. Where are you going?
ADP real fast. Mac Jones is quarterback 21 and Trevor Lawrence is quarterback 13. That's all I'll say.
I don't want to listen to your facts, Josh. I don't care about
They're facts.
Mac Jones is made out of butter noodles, and butter noodles can't play football. Trevor Lawrence.
Or what you eat.
1 vote for Trevor Lawrence. JL, what about you?
Yeah, I'm going Trevor Lawrence here. Very easily.
Nothing else to add. Josh, what about you? Mr. ADP.
There's a lot of separation between Trevor Lawrence and Mac Jones in all Dynasty leagues, Superflex or one quarterback. And I don't necessarily believe there should be as much separation as there is currently. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to end up winning this poll, if I had to guess. I do think he has a ton more upside. Mac Jones has a safer floor, and he proved a lot, and he's a good quarterback. He proved that last year. I'm going to go with Mac Jones here. I'm going to give him the nod. I'm going to go with the nod. I locked it in.
Trevor Lawrence was the first overall pick. He was assumed to be the first overall pick since he was in high school. Hell, I think they were talking about it when he was in like 8th grade that he was going to be a future number 1 overall NFL pick. That hasn't gone away. He was into one of the like historically worst situations he could have been put into in the NFL last year on that Jaguars team with Urban Meyer. I still fully believe in the talent, and that just upside available for a player of his pedigree, of that talent, just way outweighs anything that Mac Jones could ever give me. So I'm going to go with Trevor Lawrence here. So it's 3-1.
I agree with you completely, Simon. And Josh, you said the point about like Mac Jones having a safer floor. I don't know if I fully believe that in the long run here. I think Trevor Lawrence might have his talent might give him a safer floor than Mac Jones. But
I'll say Mac Jones has a safer floor because he's proved he's a good NFL quarterback at the very least, and Trevor Lawrence has not done that at all.
That's fair. That's fair. I think that we'll see that switch very, very soon here.
I would draft Trevor Lawrence above Mac Jones. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Well, you prefer the value
because of that
Jones.
Upside. Absolutely. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Drake, where are you going on this one? Mac Jones or Trevor Lawrence?
If your team had to start a playoff game tomorrow, which of these two players would you want to be the quarterback for your team?
Depends what my team looks like. Is my team
it's a playoff
have
team.
A really good defense? It's a playoff team? Mac Jones. No doubt in my mind.
I'm picking Mac Jones. I thought Mac Jones should have gotten a ton of votes for offensive rookie of the year. I love the kid. He was 6th in red zone completion last year, 5th in passing yards per attempt. Everyone thinks he's this dink and dunk guy. Got to get some talent around him. Got Devontae Parker. They added Tyquan Thornton in the draft this year. PFF grade of 80.4, which was 11th best in the league, best of any rookie. Trevor Lawrence, on the other hand, he's got Doug Peterson coming in. They threw the least amount of touchdown passes in the league, only completed 59% of his passes. It was a total disaster last year, only 2 games over 300 yards, and his only multi-touchdown weeks were 1 and 18. So I think Lawrence, is he a talented kid? Of course. But I love Mac Jones. I think he's got outstanding coaching, and I think he's a smart kid. He's a leader, and he's going to be, for 15 years, Mac Jones is just going to be this like Matt Ryan-esque type quarterback in New England.
Drake and Josh are attacking it again.
Back up to their old antics.
Megan! That Trevor Lawrence is going to move on, but a convincing argument for Mac Jones over there. You guys are making me question my vote, but I'm going to stick with Trevor Lawrence.
I'm fine with Trevor Lawrence winning that one. I assumed he would going into that.
Jail, was there a poll in the chat? Because I'm curious where the chat was on that one.
There was a poll in the chat. And YouTube's about to give me their faulty math here in a second because I just ended it. 75% chose Trevor Lawrence in this one. 25% Mac Jones. They got their math right.
I just lost 10,000 followers somehow.
Wow. They must have a very quick communication.
Say something good about Gabriel Davis. It'll go back up to 10,000.
Yes.
Yeah, really.
Yes.
Guys, we're on our next matchup. Jail, you've got the first vote here. It is Justin Fields versus Zach Wilson. Which is your preferred quarterback?
This is a tricky one. This is
a tricky one.
Historically,
it's starting to rain in my house.
I would say like over the last year, I have been firmly on the Justin Fields side. I think he's more talented than Zach Wilson. I think he probably should have went before Zach Wilson in the draft. Take that for what it's worth. I am not so sure now. I think it's a little bit closer. I think Zach Wilson is getting set up for success. I think his team is building around him, which I love to see. I'm not bought into his talent yet, but I am bought into the moves the Jets are making, and I think that's very positive. And I'm not seeing that same type of movement on the Bears side, and so I'm a little bit more concerned with Justin Fields, even though I like his talent a little bit more. I'm gonna go Zach Wilson here.
One vote for Zach Wilson. It is 1-0 to start. Josh, what about you? Where are you going with these two guys?
So DLF Dynasty ADP has Justin Fields as the quarterback 16 and and Zach Wilson as the quarterback 20. So, I was just like thinking about, for Dynasty.
Is our bracket Dynasty?
Excuse me?
Is our bracket Dynasty?
I'm taking it from a Dynasty context just because I feel like in normal redraft leagues, these quarterbacks aren't necessarily extremely relevant when it comes down to it.
You can discuss both.
And if you want to think about however you want to think about it, right? That's kind of what we normally do with these anyway. But there's actually not a ton of separation between the two guys. Just in a 1-quarterback dynasty league, there's a couple rounds. But Justin Fields, in my mind, I went with Mac Jones on the last one over Trevor Lawrence because there was a lot of separation. There's less separation on this one. And I'd rather have Justin Fields over Zach Wilson simply because of the rushing upside. I think both of these guys' upsides are pretty similar. I think their floors are actually pretty similar as well. So maybe it does almost make me want to take Zach Wilson just because there's more value there, but that rushing upside in fantasy, I'm going to go with Justin Fields here.
One vote for Justin Fields. It is 1-1. And Josh, I am perfectly in line with what you're saying here. It's not that I dislike Zach Wilson, and I love the moves they're making. And whenever he's going a little bit later in drafts, I've loved grabbing him. In these Scott Fishbowl mocks, I think he's a good quarterback to target as maybe your second guy because he's going a little bit later, and he's got that upside with what they've been doing there in New York. But when it comes down to it, I love the rushing floor for Justin Fields and the rushing upside that he provides. And I just believe in the talent. So I'm going to vote Justin Fields as well here. But this is a very close one, probably the closest one for me yet.
I completely agree.
2-1. Drake, we're coming to you. Is it going to be Justin Fields or Zach Wilson?
Boy, I've been calling Zach Wilson my favorite Disney princess for 2 years.
I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
It's not good. It's not. Hey, just beating out Ariel from The Little Mermaid. Thing for redheads.
He is pretty.
Exactly. So Justin Fields, PFF grade of 29. Zach Wilson, PFF grade of 34. Zach Wilson had 0 games over 300 yards last year, only a 55% completion percentage, 7 games without a passing touchdown. But look at the weapons. Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, Berrios. This is a team that led the NFL in drops last year, which is crazy with all this talent. Justin Fields has 0 talent on his team. He's got Darnell Mooney, who people think is like a wide receiver 1. He's got Cole Kmet, who people now think is this great guy. They have one of the worst offensive lines in the league. He's another guy, no 300-yard games all year. One game he completed 4 passes. 4 passes.
Nice.
And he got sacked the second most times of anybody last year. But I'm still going Justin Fields because he's just more athletic. He's got more upside to me. And I don't know. I mean, how can Zach Wilson not get it done with that skill set and that group there? I mean, it's unbelievable. Like any quarterback should walk in there. Baker Mayfield should walk in there and have that team competing for a playoff spot. Zach Wilson's going to be there all year. They're going to win 6 games.
That was my favorite argument for Justin Fields ever. It was like negative, but I'm still picking him. And that's how much I dislike Zach Wilson. Tim, It is 3-1. It has been decided Fields is going to move on, but where's your vote going?
It's going to go to Fields. Zach Wilson still has to play against a pretty stacked defensive AFC East. So, chalk up 6 games to being bad every single year.
Yeah, guys, that means Justin Fields moves on to our semifinals. So far, all the favorites moving on. We've got one more first round matchup, and Josh, you've got the first vote here. It is Davis Mills versus Jalen Hurts. Will this be our first upset, or will the favorites all make it through the first round in a very rare instance for Front Yard Fantasy brackets?
I tried. You set it up to.
It's just
this is by far the biggest ADP separation of this. Trey Lance and Malik Willis you might think is bigger, but Malik Willis in a 1-quarterback dynasty league is being drafted ahead of Davis Mills by a significant amount, actually.
Really?
And Jalen Hurts is being drafted ahead of Trey Lance by a significant amount.
Is it crazy to take Davis Mills ahead of Malik Willis? Like a guy who's going to start this year and looked decent at times last season?
If I was looking at Superflex, I'm sure it would switch. I'm sure just simply the fact that Davis Mills is a starting quarterback in the NFL, he would be drafted. Yeah, I mean, I can go to it real fast. But so there's separation here. That's all I'm saying. A lot of separation. Jalen Hurts is going to be a top 10 quarterback drafted, and in most leagues, Davis Mills is not. He's going to be a late round pick. Having said that, I don't have any faith in Davis Mills being the starter long term. I don't have a ton of faith in Jalen Hurts being the starter long term, but I know what he did last year. He was awesome. He was fantastic. I'd rather take Jalen Hurts in the 3rd round of my Dynasty Superflex leagues. And probably getting a quarterback 1 if we're talking about 1-quarterback leagues. Davis Mills is basically worthless, in my opinion. So I'm going to go with Jalen Hurts here.
And we got Mr. Scampers down here trying to start a fight with Drake, I think, saying Davis Mills greater than Mac Jones. Just trying to get a reaction from you up there.
Good rookie season. Davis Mills.
He did have a good rookie season.
We said that a lot last year. I remember every week being like, Davis Mills is looking good for some reason. Just being surprised.
Josh, I'm going to just echo what you said, though. I liked what I saw from Davis Mills, but there is nothing securing that starting job for him there in Houston. Jalen Hurts, he's being projected by a lot of people as a top 5 quarterback this year, and by almost everyone as a top 10 guy. I'll take Jalen Hurts in this offense. Sorry, Davis Mills. Tough first-round matchup for you. Drake, where are you going on this one? Davis Mills or Jalen Hurts?
This is very easy, although I do have a lot of Davis Mills shares in best ball because he's just a great guy that you can get late and you know he's going to be chucking all over the field. I mean, it's obviously Jalen Hurts. PFF grade of 14, Davis Mills, PFF grade of 35 last year. Houston finished 30th, tied for 30th in average yards per play at about 4.6. And he showed a little promise, though. 4 games with 300-plus passing yards, 5 games with multiple passing touchdowns. That's stuff we couldn't say about Trevor Lawrence, stuff we couldn't say about Zach Wilson. And, Davis Mills is out here doing it with, the corpse of Rex Burkhead and David Johnson and one wide
Mark
receiver.
Ingram, I think, was there earlier.
Brandon Cook's the only guy he's got. So, but Jalen Hurts, obviously, the offense, the players around him, his overall talent. I mean, this is an easy one. We're going to move Jalen Hurts on.
Jalen Hurts. He's going to move on. But, Tim, you've got to vote. Is it going to be Davis Mills or Jalen Hurts?
Nah, it's Hurts. If you're telling me that they're not drafting a quarterback in the next, bajillion draft picks they just got from the Browns, I don't know what you're talking about. So,
JL, what about you? Mills or Hurts?
Yeah, it's Hurts for me. I'm very excited about what the Eagles front office has been doing there this offseason. I've said that before on this show. I'm excited to see what Jalen Hurts does. I agree with Josh that I don't know that Jalen Hurts has long-term staying value, but in my mind, it's certainly much more likely he'll be around longer than Davis Mills.
And the thing with Jalen Hurts, too, you got to think, if he doesn't work out in Philadelphia this year, it's not like they're going to bench him. He's going to go someplace. He's got trade value.
Yeah,
some team is going to be like, I'll take that. What we've had.
Yep.
Absolutely. Maria in here saying, Josh, it says hail is coming by us. Maybe that's what you're hearing.
It was very loud, Maria. Like, I think it might have been hail. It's not doing it anymore, but I hear some thunder in the distance as well. So
in the distance.
Every time I hear hail,
ominous.
I grew up in Georgia, in Metro Atlanta, and there's some good Southern accents going on in that area of Georgia. And we had we were watching some family friends who were little at the time, probably like 4 or 5, just learning their letters, and it started hailing. And my mom was. The little girls were confused. My mom was like, this is hail. And then she just asked them, like, oh, can you spell hail? And one of the girls looked at my mom and said, I ain't spelling that bad word, ma'am. Because
hail.
Said she wasn't going to spell it. Guys, we've got our first matchup of the semifinals, and I've got the first vote here. It is Trey Lance versus Trevor Lawrence. Josh, can you let me know their ADPs?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because that, if it's that might matter here for me.
So I actually clicked on Superflex, but never even talked about that. But we have Trey Lance. Trey Lance is currently drafted as the 11th overall quarterback in a 1-quarterback league, 108 overall. And then Trevor Lawrence is the quarterback 13. So we have the quarterback 11 and 13. There's some separation of about 15 picks overall.
Yeah. Okay, so this one for me then, since they're right there neck and neck, whose talent do I like better? I like Trevor Lawrence's talent better. But for fantasy, Trey Lance has more of a rushing upside. Now, I do want to say Trevor Lawrence can run the ball. He's an athletic quarterback. He can absolutely run. Mm-hmm. But Trey Lance, I think, is the better runner of the two players. And he's in a better offense. He's over there with the San Francisco 49ers. There's way more trust for that franchise and what they're going to do with him, and that they're not going to ruin him as a prospect. They're both high draft capital guys. I'm going to go Trey Lance, but this one is super close, and that hurts my feelings as someone who really believes in Trevor Lawrence. But I think Trey Lance is the answer here for me. Drake, what about you? Where are you going, Lance or Lawrence?
Boy, this one is tough. And I echo your sentiments about Trevor Lawrence being able to run. Yes.
In a super flex league, Trey, I'm extremely surprised by this, but Trevor Lawrence is being drafted as the quarterback 11 according to the LF Dynasty ADP, and Trey Lance is the quarterback 13.
So they swap and super flex.
Yeah, like it's very surprising.
I mean, in terms of fantasy, if you're looking at it for this year, I want Trey Lance just because I think he's going to run. His team is obviously much better, but I think long term, now that we've got some much better coaching in Jacksonville, it's funny because I picked Mac Jones over Trevor Lawrence here, but now I'm going to pick Trevor Lawrence over Trey Lance in a long term play because I think he's going to have another 15 years of hopefully throwing more than 12 freaking touchdown passes in a season. But if he can get that up, I think the long term viability of Trey Lance. Or of Trevor Lawrence outshines Trey Lance.
Completely fair. Man, I just keep going back and forth, but I'm sticking with my vote. We've got one vote for Trey Lance from me, one vote for Trevor Lawrence from Drake. Tim, where are you going on this one?
I'm doing Trevor Lawrence because I'm 100% biased, but also because I've seen
100% biased.
I mean, last season we expected a ton out of Trevor Lawrence. We didn't get it, but there were still some plays. There were still some like dashes of razzle dazzle that just came out of that kid's arm. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is why we all loved him. This is why we know he's going to do well in the NFL. It's gonna happen, and I would stick with Trevor Lawrence if you can get him.
2 votes for Trevor Lawrence, and we got Ricky Butts in the chat. What's up, Rick? Welcome in. I miss you, man. JL, it's your vote. Trey Lance or Trevor Lawrence? Are you going to give this one to T-Law, the upset, or are you going to send it to Josh to determine our winner of this round?
Yeah, no, we talk about we haven't seen Trevor Lawrence be a good NFL quarterback yet, and that is true. That is true. I think we've all sort of hit most of the talking points around Trevor Lawrence, but we have seen Trevor Lawrence play at a very competitive level on a national stage, right? All throughout college, multiple times. It wasn't a fluke. He's got this talent. Simon, you brought up the rushing attempts. He had 73 rushing attempts this past season, number 5 amongst all quarterbacks in rushing attempts, which is pretty impressive, right? He does have that rushing upside, even if we didn't see a ton of it, which we did see a lot of it this past season. But even
watch
if it wasn't,
college.
It didn't stand out. Yeah,
Dude
go watch him in college. He ran
freshman year. They held him back, but starting his sophomore year on, they designed more run plays for him, and you can see him.
He's a 6'6"
Doug Peterson's going to have him running that Nick Foles RPO offense that the Eagles ran in 2017.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. I'm high on Trey Lance as well. But when we're talking about Trevor Lawrence or Trey Lance, one of these guys to me has both a safer floor and a higher upside, and for me, that's Trevor Lawrence.
3 votes for Trevor Lawrence. It's 3-1. Josh, Trevor Lawrence is moving on, but where's your vote going? Open, you are muted, so hopefully it wasn't.
When we compare about upside, I was shuffling my poker chips. That's probably why I muted it. When we talk about upside, there's no doubt that Trey Lance has more upside if he hits just because of his rushing ability. It's immensely more than Trevor Lawrence. I know Trevor Lawrence can run. You said 73 rushing attempts for Trevor Lawrence. I believe that Trey Lance had just about 40 rushing attempts, and he only started 2 games, played in 3 games. Well, he played in 6 technically, but really only played in 3 games. So Trey Lance is going to be running all over the field. Not many people can run like Trey Lance. He might be the 3rd best runner in the NFL right now, maybe 4th at the quarterback position. It's an easy Trey Lance for me on this one.
2-3, but Trevor Lawrence is going to move on. Jail, I'm curious what the chat said on that one because
Finally got an upset.
I don't think it's going to be T-Law.
71% Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, really?
Wow.
T-Law moved on. Upset in the chat as well. Guys, we are on to our next matchup, and Drake, you've got the first vote here. Our last semifinal matchup, Justin Fields versus Jalen Hurts. Who's it going to be?
You know what's funny here is people think, oh, stylistically, maybe they're the same, but they're really not. Justin Fields is a much better passer than Jalen Hurts is right now. Jalen Hurts, though, is on a team that is miles ahead of the Chicago Bears. The Bears are just a total dumpster fire in a rebuild right now. So it's going to take them a few years. Jalen Hurts on a team that is built to win now and actually has a pretty good defense behind him too. I'm going to take Jalen Hurts right here, but that's with the caveat. He's going to throw the football more. Last year, remember, the Eagles changed offensive coordinators. They made Shane Steichen the OC. And after week 8, they fundamentally changed their offense and took the ball out of Jalen Hurts' hands. But with the addition of A.J. Brown, all the money you're paying him, you're moving Devonta Smith to the slot. It's going to open things up for him. I'm taking Jalen Hurts here. 1
vote for Jalen Hurts. Tim, what about you? Is it going to be Justin Fields or Jalen Hurts? Looks like Drake's argument convinced you a little bit.
No, it didn't. Well, so I think ADP in my mind matters in this case a little bit more because I think you're going to be able to get a better piece than Jalen Hurts where you need a position on your roster and then get Justin Fields as well. So for that reason alone, I think I'm going to go Justin Fields. It's a toss-up. I'm happy with either guys, but I think ADP is what really matters to me here.
Justin Fields. JL, what about you? Where are you going here?
This is tough. This is tough for me. Right now, if I'm on the clock in a dynasty startup, I'm taking Jalen Hurts before Justin Fields. So I think I got to go Jalen Hurts here. I almost pulled a Drake. So I think I got to go Justin Fields here.
2 votes for Jalen Hurts. Josh, where are you going here? Fields or Hurts?
I completely agree. This is probably the toughest one for me as well. I struggle. I think Justin Fields, you're going to get a much better value in a 1 quarterback league, but in a super flex league, the problem is, like, you're not getting that much better of a value on Justin Fields than you are Jalen Hurts, and I'd rather have Jalen Hurts. I really want to vote for Justin Fields here, but I'm going to go Jalen Hurts simply because if you look at Superflex ADP data, like quarterback 10 for Jalen Hurts, quarterback 15 for Justin Fields, but there's only a separation of Jalen Hurts being the 15th overall pick and Justin Fields being the 27th overall pick.
It's around. You can get both.
Yeah, I'll just take Jalen Hurts here. Yeah, I'll finish it up.
And Josh, I'll do it for you. I'll throw a vote to Justin Fields.
I did not.
This is incredibly close for me. I agree with what you guys said. Drake, you hit on a point that Justin Fields is a much better passer. And I agree with that. I think that's true. Long term, I prefer Justin Fields, but like you said, it is long term. You're waiting for the Bears to get their shit together. He can only do so much with one great wide receiver on that team in Darnell Mooney. I was just Drake, you hit right on me. Some people, whenever you said some people believe Darnell Mooney's a wide receiver one, you got one of those here, and these guys will never let me hear the end of it. But I'm going to throw a vote to Justin Fields, and that means our finals though is going to be Trevor Lawrence versus Jalen Hurts. Scott wants to know who will be a better
easy Hurts pick because of the offense. Easy.
Yeah, I agree.
I think everyone's going to agree.
Yep.
Drake, do you agree Hurts is better for Scott Fishbowl or Fields?
Well, I had a great stat here on for Jalen Hurts is two things. Remember, last year he was QB2 through week 12 before he had an ankle injury. He was only behind Tom Brady. He was averaging 21.9 points per game. So here's the stat, which is going to be beneficial to Scott Fishbowl. 38% of Jalen Hurts' runs last year were either first downs or touchdowns. 38%. Wow. That was second in the NFL, I believe, behind Josh Allen. And again, you're getting him at a guy who was number 2 in the league behind Tom Brady before he hurt his ankle. And you're getting him as what, like QB7, QB8? So
probably better in a lot of leagues.
You know, so
and in Scott Fishbowl, the half point per first down really matters. He'll get those. You don't get them for passing first downs, just for those rushing first downs. I'm with you, Drake. Guys, let's move on to our championship matchup. Trevor Lawrence versus Jalen Hurts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who starts?
Jazz are trading Rudy Gobert to the Timberwolves. Sorry, breaking news.
You're good. No one cares. Josh, I think we skipped you because we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matchups. Now that checks out. Tim, you're up first. Trevor Lawrence versus Jalen Hurts. Who wins this matchup?
Trevor Lawrence.
1 vote for Trevor Lawrence. JL, what about you?
I'm going to go Trevor Lawrence as well.
2 votes for Trevor Lawrence. Josh, Trevor Lawrence or Jalen Hurts?
In a super flex league, these guys are literally back to back. In a non-super flex league, you do see Jalen Hurts take quite the jump, but this is Jalen Hurts for me.
If it's non-dynasty, I think I'm switching. I would go Jalen.
Oh yeah, if it's redraft, easy. But
so here's what I'm gonna do.
We've changed every round. What it is.
Oh yeah,
it's redrafted Scott Fishbowl.
Dynasty, Superflex, 1 quarterback dynasty. Any league, I'm drafting Jalen Hurts above Trevor Lawrence personally.
These guys are very close. I could make a convincing argument for either to win. They're going to be very different arguments for each of them. But instead, what I'm going to do is, since they're so close, I'm just going to vote for Jalen Hurts to make it tied and make our guests decide the winner of this bracket. Brian Drake, you are determining the top with whatever criteria you want under 23 or under quarterback in the NFL. Is it going to be Trevor Lawrence or Jalen Hurts?
So it's like I'm going to make a call here to go to college, and we're going to put – we're gonna put the hat on.
I think I know who he's going with.
We're going Jalen Hurts here. I'm an Eagles fan. Come on, I can't go against
Jalen Hurts wins our bracket as the top quarterback, 23 and under, according to whatever the hell criteria we wanted to use at any given point in this bracket. But it is undisputable. You can't argue with the science of brackets. Jalen Hurts is our champion.
The votes finished at 23 as well. Look at that. Serendipity.
There we go. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and pull up this next bracket. We have a very important bracket to get to with this next one. It is 4th of July foods. Here are the foods we're going to be talking about today. Hot dogs, deviled eggs, potato salad, corn on the cob, apple pie, barbecue chicken, baked beans, and hamburgers. All foods that you're likely to find at a 4th of July gathering. And you know what? Just so that we end in the finals where Drake is going to be determining again if it's a tie. We're starting with you again, Drake. I know you just voted, but it's going to be hot dogs or deviled eggs. Which of these is your preferred 4th of July food?
I've never had a deviled egg in my entire life.
What?
I don't know what they are. I don't know where you get them. I
You don't even
how
know what they are?
You're not missing out on a single thing. In fact, your life's much better because of it.
They're pretty good.
I've got 2 young children, so trust me, I make lots of hot dogs around here. Someday they'll figure out what's in them and hate me for it, but for right now, we're going hot dog.
1 vote for hot dogs. Tim, is it hot dog or deviled eggs?
I still don't know what's in them, and it's hot dogs.
2 votes for hot dogs. JL, this is a battle of foods that you love a lot. You love a good hot dog, and you just told us how much you love deviled eggs. So
I'm interested to see where he goes.
I'm also interested to see where I go because I don't know.
And Maria in here saying vegan dogs could be okay. So you could assume the vegetarian option if you want to, JL.
I assume nothing. I assume nothing.
Just like a cucumber.
That is true. That is very true. You assume nothing.
Ew.
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna pull Josh here. Listen up. One of these things smell like dirty, stinky farts, and the other one is a hot dog. So I'm gonna go with deviled eggs. Naturally, give me the dirty, stinky farts because I'm gonna enjoy watching them just sit there. I'm gonna enjoy watching them just sit there in the sun at the 4th of July cookout while nobody goes up to and eats it.
Deviled egg eating contest at the expo at your guys' booth. Make it happen.
Gardner Minshew will be the headliner. We'll eat more deviled eggs than anybody.
Just pounded deviled eggs.
Josh, are you going hot dogs or deviled eggs?
I can usually eat about 1 deviled egg before I'm completely tired with them. I really don't like deviled eggs that much either. Hot dogs, I can eat a hot dog all day. I love hot dogs. Hot dog, easy.
I immediately judge a restaurant if they have deviled eggs on the menu. I'm like, who the hell is in charge of decision making here that you put deviled eggs on the appetizer section here? It's a crime against humanity. It's eggs with they're like, you know how to make this yolk worse? Let's just mix it with mayonnaise and then shove it back in the egg cold.
I don't like mayonnaise or mustard either.
I don't like cold mayonnaise dishes. I like mayonnaise on like a hot sandwich is good, but like a cold mayonnaise dish. Ugh. That being said, I don't like hot dogs either. They're disgusting, but I'm going to assume here that maybe we could get one of those like sick, like chicken apple sausages to throw into a hot dog bun, and we'll call that a hot dog. And I'm going to vote for hot dog, but this is purely a I hate deviled eggs take and not a pro hot dog take. Nobody hear what I'm not saying. Hot dogs moves on. Tim, you've got the first vote in our next matchup, potato salad versus corn on the cob. What's going to be the winner here?
So fun fact, Jersey is the Garden State, which is kind of weird if you think about it too hard. They have some of the best sweet corn on the planet. And man, corn is such an underrated food. I'm going corn. Potato salad can suck it. It's fine, but corn all day.
1 vote for corn. JL, where are you going?
Here's the thing. Potato salad is like a bottom tier potato dish. Out of all the potato dishes, you could do pretty much anything to a potato and it's gonna be great. Potato salad, it's not always great. You got like a 75-25% chance, and the 25% chance is that it's going to be good. And that means that they're probably not putting mayonnaise into it. It's got to be corn on the cob. That's kind of annoying to eat, but it's fine. And corn's delicious.
2 votes for corn on the cob. Josh, where are you going here?
Yeah, I heard that you voted for corn on the cob there, but for you to besmirch corn on the cob and say it's like hard to, I mean, like it's a joy to eat, in my opinion. Like I think it's fantastic. I love corn on the cob.
Just because it's a challenge doesn't mean you can't get enjoyment out of it.
Potato salad, get it out of here. I agree with that point. Corn on the cob, easy.
Potato salad is one of those things that like partially convinces me that like we live in a simulation, because it should not be as many places as it is with how few people like it. Potato salad is disgusting. But potato salad, like you go to a cookout, a corporate meeting or something like that, there's always freaking potato salad. Anybody over 65's refrigerator, there's potato salad in it, and nobody really likes it that much. But like there's something going on that puts potato salad in front of everybody. It's a disgusting cold mayonnaise dish. Corn on the cob is absolutely elite. And since moving, I just lost my train of thought. There's a food truck.
Not elite.
I was gonna say there's a food truck down here that does delicious elote that I had never had before. It is so good. I know that's maybe not necessarily the 4th of July style of corn, but either way, I'm gonna go with corn on the cob.
Mr. Scampers made a great point. Do you like hot mayonnaise? Like
I like mayonnaise on hot dishes, like a hot sandwich with mayo on it. Know what I mean? I'm fine with that.
James said y'all haven't had the right potato salad, guys. I have had the right potato salad. The Salt Lick in Texas, Austin, Texas.
He did say 25% of potato salad's good. He did say that.
I'm saying 0%.
I did.
Get it out of here.
Drake, it is your vote. Is it going to be potato salad or corn on the cob for you?
Not that this matters, but do you know what I ate right before
None
the
of this
show?
Freaking
Potato
potato
salad.
salad. It was
Potato
freaking potato salad.
I'm giving
You're
the
the
vote
one.
potato salad. I hate corn on the cob because it gets stuck in my teeth, and then I got to go floss afterwards. It's not going to help here. There's no money in the bank briefcase saving potato salad. But I'm going to give my vote to them. Again, got to be good potato salad. I've had some dog.
Gotta be
potato
good.
salad.
Your corn off the
I'm
cob.
so glad that you
guys
went
do?
right after
No,
me.
I'm not a
all
4-year-old, Josh.
I did was besmirch
people that
potato
do it.
salad over and over again, and then you come in, you're like, "Guess what I had for lunch?"
You want an
Potato
engagement
salad.
farm on Twitter? Start a potato salad war. Let's see what happens here. We'll get
Yeah,
everybody going.
I bet people got strong opinions on that.
Make
Guys,
a
we're
poll.
gonna
Is potato salad gross? Yes or no?
Yes or no?
JL, you've got the first vote on this one. It is apple pie versus barbecue chicken. Where's your vote going here?
Holy moly.
The standard barbecue sauce flavor is so disappointing. I don't understand why people love it. Like other barbecue flavors, like Flair, whatever, you got like the Carolina version, the mustardy versions. Great.
You're talking like Sweet Baby Ray's in a bottle from
Sweet, yeah.
Kroger.
It's exactly what I'm talking about. What you think of when you think barbecue sauce right off the bat, that conventional sweet, it's not very good. I'm also vegetarian, so I'm gonna go apple pie. None of the barbecue stuff matters, but just wanted to add that.
One vote for apple pie. Josh, what are you doing here?
Yeah. I mean, apple pie is one of my favorite pies. I really enjoy it, but I love barbecue sauce, so screw you, JL, I guess.
That's fair. That's fair.
And you lather that some chicken, it's real good. I know a lot of times we're thinking about just how good it could be, like our top tier barbecue chicken, and it's so delicious, even compared to top tier apple pie. I'm gonna take the chicken here for sure.
Also, we had a comment here. What's up, Queasy? Said barbecue chicken
Queasy.
for show, and then said, "How did I get
How
here?"
the hell did I
Well,
get here?
welcome in,
Pretty
Queasy.
much what
We've been
everyone asks.
asking
I'm glad you're
ourselves
here.
the same thing. It is my vote here, and JL, I agree with you about barbecue sauce, and it's such a shame because good barbecue sauce, and
So
I mean
good.
specifically vinegar-based barbecue sauces, are elite, top tier,
Or
delicious,
spicy
unbelievable.
barbecue.
But I've never been to like a 4th of July cookout where they're not just smothering Sweet Baby Ray's all over their chicken right there. So I'm going to go with apple pie here. It's always delicious. Even a bad apple pie is good. You can go to McDonald's
That's
right
true.
now, spend $1, get one of their shitty little apple pie pockets, and it's going to be just like a moment of bliss for you on this Friday afternoon. Apple pie is my vote. Drake, it's up to you. It's 2-1 in favor of apple pie right now. Still anyone's game, though. Are you going apple pie or barbecue chicken?
This is a crazy question because we're talking about a dessert versus a main course entree. And, barbecue chicken, a staple around the country. Everyone loves chicken. Everyone makes
False.
chicken. This is the
False.
same thing like we're talking about with Justin Fields. And that's the reason I have to go apple pie.
Oh no, you guys!
Desserts!
I
That's how you
always
do
am
it.
picking the right options, and you guys just ruin it. You
That's
just
how I
ruin it.
feel, Josh. Now you know how
No.
I feel.
No, I don't get shit for my takes. You guys get shit for your takes. There's a reason, all right?
There's a reason.
Well, Tim,
Yeah, everybody else is wrong. That's the reason.
No.
Tim, this has been decided. Apple pie is going to win, but are you throwing your vote to apple pie or barbecue chicken?
Nah, I mean, it's barbecue chicken. Like, y'all are just imagining the worst version of barbecue chicken. But can you imagine? So if you were cooking your barbecue chicken, you wouldn't do Sweet Baby Ray's. You do a good barbecue sauce. So like, what? I don't understand what the problem is here.
Get
But
your logic out of here. We don't care
What do
about
you mean?
facts here,
Wait,
Tim.
Tim,
Also,
let me
You told us that.
wait, one more point. I'm always too drunk to even get to the dessert. So I've never had apple pie at a 4th of July thing. So get it out of
Start
here.
with your dessert, you
Get
dingus.
it. No, no,
Why do
no.
you have to-
barbecue
why you have to
chicken.
You
eat your
start
food
with
in
20
order?
hot dogs.
I'm angry about
30
this one.
beers, and then you're good for the day. And maybe some
Gardner
barbecue chicken.
You don't
Minshew
need to
deviled
eat.
egg hot dog eating contest at the expo.
Let's
Make
go.
it
Let's
happen.
go. Let's go. Let's
It's
go.
going on.
This is my nightmare.
And Tim, I just want to propose a scenario to you. It's 3 a.m., 4th of July. You hosted a 4th of July get together. You've got all the leftovers
Barbecue
in your
chicken.
fridge. You go to your fridge and you want to grab something late night, low effort to just snack on. Are you grabbing a piece of that barbecue chicken or are you grabbing a slice of apple
The
pie?
problem
I
is you
can't-
gotta
I
heat up the
can't-
barbecue chicken. You're drunk. You don't want to heat it up, and you just
That's
eat the apple
exact-
pie. So the
there
apple
we
pie's the
go.
answer, but that's
I'm not-
bullshit scenario.
Simon's
I'm
like,
not
walk
awake
right
at
into my
3 a.m.
trap.
First of all, stupid scenario. And second scenario, all the chicken's gone because we ate it all before the pie. What
Okay.
is-
Well, Tim, we can talk more about barbecue chicken after, but it has been eliminated. Apple pie moved on, and we are on to our fourth matchup. Anthony, and you're saying apple pie. Jail, you always got a fellow vegan on your team.
What's up, Anthony? How you doing?
I missed you, Anthony.
Yeah,
Josh, you've got the first vote on
also
this
not vegan.
one.
Even with your trash take.
But thanks.
Baked beans are hamburgers. Baked beans suck. hamburgers. Yeah.
Baked beans really do suck.
Baked beans are so
I bet you can't wait to vote for it, Jail.
gross.
I
And
can't
I told
wait.
Josh this before the show. My girlfriend loves baked beans. Occasionally, we'll just like crack
Who
open a
loves
can of
I've
baked
never met a
beans
single
and
person who's
she'll
like,
throw-
oh, hell yeah, baked
He'll
beans.
throw a can of
My
baked beans in a
dad.
bowl and microwave it and eat that for dinner. But it
Do that
is
with
so
cheese.
gross. It makes the house smell weird, like baked beans.
like baked beans.
And I don't
It's
even like
strange.
hamburgers, but I
Drake's
do
gonna
love,
love baked beans. Just watch.
I do love a good
You know
black
what I'm
bean
eating
burger.
right now.
So I'm gonna go with hamburgers. He's gonna take his hat off and baked beans are gonna fall
just-
out all
He just
around.
lifts his hand up and he's got a spoonful.
Beans.
Drake, it's your vote. It's 2-0 in favor of hamburgers right now. Is it gonna be baked beans or hamburgers for you?
I was actually watching the news the other day, and in Syracuse here, they make this thing called Grandma Brown. I don't know, it's bean soup or baked, whatever the hell it is. But they make it around here. But that doesn't hide the fact that no, baked beans do suck. We're gonna go with hamburgers here. The only way that like somehow baked beans, we need like Brian Windhorse out here, like finding like the what's wrong in the universe, but it all comes back to baked beans, like he did with this Utah trade a few minutes ago. But yeah, baked beans are terrible. I'm looking forward to hamburgers in the second round.
Baked beans in the garbage. Tim, where are you going here?
It's hamburgers. It's a staple. Easy squeezy.
John Luke.
Easy. Yeah, I mean, I feel like beans never quite. There's no bean that's really gonna like reach the heights of the best hamburger. But baked beans somehow like didn't even show up. They like, didn't even show up for some reason. Like all the other beans are worlds ahead of baked beans, and they're still just all right.
Yeah.
I'm
Like
gonna
a
do
green
what
bean casserole over it.
now. I'm not including green beans
Ooh.
because they're entirely different class of beans here.
But I'm with Drake. I don't care
I'm
if
with
they're an entirely different class of beans. I give me a green bean casserole.
I don't
yeah.
like green bean casserole, but it's winning over baked beans.
Green beans are delicious. I'm going to do what I didn't do for hot dogs here, and I'm just going to assume here hamburger. I'm going with Impossible Burger in my mind. So
I like
give me
it.
hamburger.
I like
Hamburger.
it.
And you know
Or
what? It's meant to
plant-based
taste.
burger.
There you go. Perfect. Guys, we've got our second round matchup here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be my vote first. Hot dogs versus corn on the cob. This isn't even close. Corn is elite.
I love
Um,
you guys in the chat.
This is the battle of our phallic-shaped foods, and I'm going to go with the crunchier one, and I'm going to go with corn on the cob as my preferred 4th of July food. I could eat like 6 ears of corn on the 4th of July. It's so good. Smother that with butter and salt and hot sauce. It's going to be
Oh.
delicious.
This is the
Drake,
closest
where
one
you-
yet.
Don't you smother with salt.
Oh, I'm
Closest
smothering
one
it
yet.
with salt.
Oh, salt's
Drake,
going on there.
Everything with salt.
Drake, are you going hot dogs or corn on the cob?
When I was in college, I scammed Syracuse University into giving me press passes. So
Hell
I
yeah.
could go to the football games and sit in the press box, and I would literally just show up hungover to the noon games because Syracuse ain't playing anything past noon. And all I would do is I would go get a dome dog to soak up, the booze left in my system. They're
Dome
not
dog.
selling corn on the cob at the stadium. You're getting a hot dog.
No, yeah.
Hot dog, we're putting you in the finals, baby. Let's go. Collision course with hamburgers.
I'm
Not
surprised
yet.
you didn't,
Not
I'm
yet.
surprised
Not
you
in
didn't
there
just
yet.
like sneak in a pocket full of baked beans, Brian, into the game. Just ate with your hands.
He's not the beans guy, all right?
One of my favorite college football moments ever came in a Clemson Syracuse game whenever Dabo, they were up big and on 4th down right before halftime, they were like on the end zone. He decided to go for the touchdown. Syracuse gets the stop and it cuts to Scott Frost and he's on the sideline. You can clearly see his mouth go, F you, Dabo, you mother effer, on national television. Just be like, they were down like 25 and it was just like a vindictive moment. And you know what? He earned that moment. It was beautiful. I love it.
And Clemson only won by 60 that day.
Syracuse always almost beats us.
They give us
The most
fits
annoying
over and
thing.
over again. It is 1-1. Tim, where's your vote going here?
Them and
This is-
Pitt.
This is a tough one. This is a battle of a couple of barbecue heavyweights for the classic 4th of July one. I have to go. I have to go hot dogs. Just do it.
2-1. And Dane said, I
I'm
only eat
sorry, Corn.
jalapeno
I-
cheese
wait,
dogs
wait,
or
wait.
Costco dogs.
Damn it! I already cast my vote, but I forgot. I lived on Corn Lane. That's literally where my house was when I grew up. Damn it! I voted already though. That's
Okay. 2-1. He's keeping it. JL, are you going with hot dogs or corn on the cob?
Corn on the cob. Let's go.
2-2. Josh, what about you? You decide
This is
the winner of
by
this one.
far the toughest one yet, and it came to me as a tie, which is serendipity.
Word of the day.
I'd rather eat multiple ears of corn than multiple hot dogs. I love one good hot dog. I can't eat more than one. Like it's too much. Corn I could eat all day. I love corn on the cob, butter, salt, pepper. Let's go. Corn on the cob's moving on, guys.
Josh,
I'm sorry,
not
Greg.
the next Kobayashi Fuster. He can only eat one hot dog. Corn on the cob is moving on.
Yeah, I saw some people talking
Oh
about
my
hot dog eating competition. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
disgusting.
I couldn't do it.
12 is the most I've
Have
ever
some
had. with
self-respect.
I
Drake,
have
you got-
38 hot dogs ready to pull out right here for the.
Oh,
Pull out game strong.
Drake, you've got the first vote on this one. It is apple pie versus hamburgers. Another heavyweight battle. Where are you going on
Yeah.
this one?
My favorite restaurant to take my kids to is Five Guys because the burgers and the fries are outstanding. We're going burgers, hamburgers. I'd rather like a cheeseburger, but burger in general for me outclasses the apple pie.
Five
There we
Guys.
go.
is
One
awesome,
vote
Drake.
for burgers. Tim, where are you going here?
It's a burger. I'd rather die than eat an apple pie at a 4th of July barbecue.
2 votes for hamburgers. JL,
But
what
if it's
about
late
you?
at night?
I'm going hamburgers as well. Plant-based burgers. Because
Three.
you got to have that at a barbecue. At a
All
cookout.
of apple pie is plant-based.
Also, I love Five Guys burgers and fries because they can fit their whole menu into their name, which is very cool.
It is pretty cool.
You
Josh,
can
where
get
are
a
you
hot
going
dog
Yeah,
or
hot
grilled
dogs there.
cheese at Five
Yeah.
Guys, by the way.
Grilled cheese is the one thing, yeah.
It's a hamburger. It's a hamburger.
I'll throw one vote to apple pie on this one. It's going to be apple pie for me. And let's move on to our final matchup. Tim, you've got the first vote. It is corn on the cob versus hamburgers. Where is your vote going?
Shit. This sucks. You know what? Because I just remembered that I lived literally on 4 Corn Lane. That is my address. 4 Corn. That's my lane.
You didn't get it
So
before.
I completely
his
missed
address.
it. Yeah. So, yep. That corn.
For corn
to my
lane.
house.
There
You
we
can look.
go.
You could, if you want to look it up on Google Maps. That's my house. You can see where I grew up and where
There
my
you go.
brain started to work.
But he does
Who
not
lives
live
there
there
now?
anymore for everybody who wants to go see Tim's
No,
glorious
I don't live
mustache
there.
in person. So if you
Don't
show
visit.
up, the mustache will probably
I'll
be
give you his
much
address
less
if you want it.
beautiful.
I just
JL, you want to go with corn on the cob or hamburgers?
I'm going to go hamburgers here.
Is that Impossible Burger? You love a good Impossible
Plant-based,
Burger.
yeah, plant-based burgers are the greatest invention ever made.
Josh, corn on the cob or hamburgers?
I love both of these. They're great together. But when you just think of the best one you could, I've had some awesome corn in my life, but my top hamburger is like one of my favorite meals. Like literally, it's hamburger, guys. It's hamburger.
And Rick, speaking to your point, I literally had this combo 2 nights
Yeah,
ago. They
yeah,
go well
yeah.
together.
It's a
One
great
vote for
combo.
hamburger.
There's some big
And,
beans on there. You're good.
I don't even have to purposefully rig this for Brian to be the deciding vote again because my honest answer is for corn on the cob. Corn is an elite 4th. Like when I think 4th of July, I think walking around near the grill with a fresh ear of corn. Like that's my vision of like my family 4th of July growing up. My grandfather cooked the hell out of some corn. 2-2. It's intense. Drake, twice in a row now, you are deciding the winner. You've got the last vote. What's it going to be? Corn on the cob or hamburgers?
I just pulled up the PFF grades for hamburgers.
What do we got? What do we got?
What
does it
are
look like?
what are we looking at?
Corn on the cob is somehow graded lower than Davis Mills.
I bet you it was Ian.
What? Lower than Davis Mills?
Hamburgers,
that's
it is.
ridiculous.
It's a cheeseburger. Give me a good cheeseburger. Cheeseburger is going to win. When you show up to somebody's house, you want a good hot dog or a good burger. That's the centerpiece of the meal, and then maybe some potato salad. But you're mostly going to want that burger.
Let's go.
Hamburgers is the winner of our 4th of July food bracket. Corn on the
Yes.
cob fought hard
Very
till the
shocking.
end,
This is a
but
very
could
shocking
not
result.
make it out on top. And we've got Anthony in here saying, boo. I'm sorry, Anthony. The burgers are the elite champion of this bracket. Drake, I
Plant-based
wanted to
burgers,
thank
Anthony.
you so much for coming on today and helping
Treat
us
them.
determine that Jalen Hurts was our favorite 23 and under quarterback and that hamburgers were the best 4th of July food.
Thanks for having me, guys. All right, which one do you choose? You got to choose between Jalen Hurts or a hamburger.
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 Jalen Hurts.
Hamburger for me.
Easily a hamburger.
You split us 2-2. You've got the deciding vote again, Drake.
Let me see here. I got a jersey over here now.
Who has a bigger PFF score?
You have a hamburger jersey?
I would say hamburglar back in high school. That was my job at McDonald's.
Don't get us started on the hamburger list.
I think I saw that.
Do not get the chat started on Grimace. We got some Grimace believers in the chat. We can't even bring up the Ronald McDonald.
Grimace
game
is just
here.
like Barney on meth.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me. I look forward to seeing you guys out at the expo.
Hell
Have some
yeah.
adult beverages and some potato salad.
Perfect. Oh, I
Absolutely.
can't wait for the deviled eggs and
All
potato
beverages,
salad.
Yes. No.
I'll bring
no.
the potato salad on the plane.
Guys, that is going to be it for us this afternoon. If you're not sick of us yet, a reminder that in about 2 hours at 6 p.m. Eastern time, we will be live on the FanDuel YouTube and Twitch channels playing some poll perception. So come hang out with us in about 2 hours over there. Until then, we are out of here. Another big thanks to everyone in the chat who hung out with us today, voted along. Big thanks to Brian for coming on today with us. And we will be back in a couple hours. Until then, adios, everyone.
Trading makes fantasy fun.
Bye-bye.